All right. So before I start, I already mentioned that there are three ideas we are going to work on today. One is CRISP. It's suggested by one of the members of our community in Dubai AI community. It's basically to connect brands to communities so that the community owners they can earn some money and brands can advertise themselves. The second one comes from also a friend in Dubai. They're running um, a small secondhand mobile selling business online, and they sell through Amazon and a few other marketplaces. And so they have a problem that now it has scaled, and they want to create a system where they can manage everything in one place. So we call it Souk Hub. And the third one is something came from another friend in Dubai who asked that they want to research on different ideas on what to build and what to sell. And so that is Idea Miner. And that's what we will be doing. We have only 2 hours. So the idea here is to essentially work on these three different ideas in parallel and see how far we can go in 2 hours. The idea being that it should be ready uh, to at least be an MVP when we start. And so before I start, I'll show you some of the tools that I use. The first tool is a set of Claude Code skills that I've built. You can see it on my GitHub. It's all so everything I'm doing today is open source and everything will be shared, so you can access it. But this is basically a set of skills in Claude Code which allow you to create your projects in a very good, maintainable way, easy to understand, easy to document, and so on. So that's, I mean, when you have time, you can take a look at it. It's on Claude minus Bootstrap, and you can access it. I also use Claude Code primarily. So you will see that I have three different tabs that are open here. So I will run Claude Code here. I use Z as IDE, so the development environment. So all of the ideas as we create the code, it will start appearing here. And those are basically the tools that I use. For my own workflow, I also use Vercel for deployments, which is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. So when I push these live, so you can use it, we will use Vercel. And when if we are using, let's say, a backend tech, so we will be using render to deploy, let's say, Python backend. If in any of these cases we decide to use Python, and yeah, that's basically the set of technologies that we are going to use. And this is my way of doing it. Maybe if some of you are developers, you may use other things, but this is what I use. So let's get started. We will start with Crisp, and I will start with Cloud Code. So I'll just start here. I always start with dangerously skip permissions. I don't know if you guys are or how many people are actually used to Claude Code. I used to use Cursor before last year and before when it was launched. I also tried with Windsurf and now recently with Anti-Gravity with Google. But I find Claude Code to be one of the best or the best in terms of how it manages the code. So I use Claude Code. I have a Max package, so obviously there are no restrictions. And I always use dangerously skip permissions because I trust Claude Code now enough that I can actually let it execute things on its own. So now this is the second Claude Code, which is on the second project. And the third project is Idea Miner. So I start Claude Code here as well. So now I have three Claude codes that are running, and we can start with our projects. Um, by the way, if I'm going too fast and there are any questions on this, feel free to ask me. I see, and so Ankit is here. One of the ideas is his. Ankit, I changed the idea name just so that it doesn't. I don't want to create a wrong brand you may have planned. So I just use it as a generic way of implementing the idea just from the point of view that you can see how the MVP might be like. So it's everything is here. Now we can start with initialize project. So this is what um, uh, Claude Bootstrap is doing. So I can initialize the projects here directly. So I say initialize the project, and now Claude basically takes care of the things to set up all of the basic things, and you can see how this would be. Let's see. And I can start the same thing on other projects as well. And here as well. So basically what this is doing is it's going to ask me some basic questions, choose the technology, and set up the technical base for the project. All right, so as this is working, okay, so it's basically asking me, is it a web app, an API service, a CLI tool, or others? I know this is a web app. We are in Crisp, so I go here. And the same question will be asked by this. So it is asking me what is the custom description of what I'm making. I'll type description of what I am building. I will, what are you building? In this case, I'm building Souk Hub. It's an AI agent for multi-channel. So I will add far more detail. So my general flow when I'm working on these ideas is that I spend a lot of time in describing my requirements, and so this is always important in terms of what we need to be doing here, so that we do describe as much and as much detail as possible on what we are doing. So this is it's asking here. By the way, you also noticed that it logged me in into GitHub to actually make sure that all of the code is added in GitHub and maintained there. Go back here. So this is here. I will, for multi-agent, we will use Node.js, Next.js, sorry, because I want to deploy it on Vercel. So I choose Next.js for this. And for our idea miner, we will, just to show you how I do it, so we will use React for front end and Python for backend. So we got it here. And this would be full stack. This would be LLM handle. So in my logic here, a lot of times, because I want to create AI first applications, I have in my Claude Code skills added that it should prioritize that the logic as much as possible should be handled by AI. And that is what I do to make applications much more smarter than they would otherwise be. So I will use LLMs to handle core logic. I would use Supabase for database. I will, yeah, create a new repo and submit. So this is our Souk app. Here is what is, so it's essentially generating Claude MD. So just to explain, Claude MD is the basic set of instructions that we create for one specific project so that Claude knows what to do. And if you don't add Claude MD, then every time Claude has to figure out things on its own. And so what these skills, what I showed you with initialize project, what it has done is it has configured and created the right Claude code for this specific project in this specific technologies that I'm using. So this Claude is Claude MD, which is basically guideline for Claude code, is optimized for the set of tech that we want to use here. So you can see that it is creating project specs, it is creating the structure and everything. And if we go to Z, our IDE, you can see that the code has been, so the structure for Crisp is started to be created here. The same thing will happen with Idea Miner and SuCub. Here, we already have example data because the guy who suggested this idea, this shared with me the example data from Amazon and I think what they're using is in Middle East or in UAE, there's revive.me and there's Cartlow. So he shared his data from those as well. So those are basically added here and they are here. So let's go back and see where we are. All right, so we are in there. So as I said, the first thing is to really explain what we are doing. So I will tell Claude what I'm working on. We are creating Crisp. The idea is that we want to connect brands to communities so that community owners can generate some revenue and brands can get their brand advertised, whatever. Let's first create a spec for this, create a detailed PRD for the idea. So PRD is project requirement document. The reason we have to create this is that we have to go into as much detail as we can to the idea, explain it, review it, see if we want to modify something. Then we will convert PRD into atomic to-dos. Atomic to-dos are to-dos that cannot be further broken down into subsets. And there will be validation and test cases for each of those atomic to-dos. And then when we start executing it, it goes really smooth. So one question from Raymond is, have I used Cloud Code directly in CLI? Yes, I do use, for example, in Z, Cloud Code directly. Now I don't do it anymore, primarily because Cloud Code has its own memory footprint and it starts increasing as you work on the project. And if you are with Cursor or with Visual Code or others, it just consumes too much of the memory and it slows down everything. And so now I tend to just do use Cloud Code directly, and I have my IDE open as well. So when I review the code and then when I review those things, this will I will review them directly there. But I use Cloud Code directly in the terminal. I used to use the default terminal of Mac, and now I use iTerm, as you can see, which I find to be much more flexible when I'm working with different accounts and different stacks and different things. So that's why I use iTerm and not the default terminal of Mac. And yes, it's the context for the specific project, but not just the context. It's all the rule set that I wanted to follow. So, for example, if I just as it's working on it, if I go here and I show you these skills are, if you go here and you can read it yourself, but it's basically also specifying what are the constraints that should be there. For example, I don't want functions to be too big because the thing with AI coding is that it can create infinitely big amount of code, right? And the problem usually is that it creates so much code that sometimes even we can't understand what it has created because it creates so much code. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure that this is maintainable and I can actually follow through if I ever need to follow through. So I've created these best practices that the lines per function should be 20 max. These are obviously very opinionated, but this is important so that I can have the code which is maintainable and which is not just like going all crazy. And this is what I've learned, that when you want to trust AI, you want to do all of these things, but you want to put some guardrails so it doesn't go completely crazy. All right, so as it creates this, we go here and we use Souk Hub as the name. Recommendation for repo is public, and I go here and I will start the things here as well. For our idea miner, I will type something else. Let's first create the specification for idea miner and create a detailed PRD. What we want to do is to use Reddit as a source to mine ideas that people can use to implement as, let's say, apps or mobile apps, etc. So create a detailed PRD where we use Reddit API to manage, to help users do this. This should be agentic, and we will be using pedantic AI in the backend, in the Python backend to implement agentic flows. Okay, so here I've already mentioned that I want to use pedantic AI. So there are different libraries you can use to implement agentic workflows. And agentic workflows are basically where you have have an agent who would think about how to solve or how to execute a task and then implement it. Normally, if I was doing it, let's say 6 months ago or 1 year, more than a year ago, I would actually do a research on it. And I would say, I want to have a research part where I want to figure out which library I can use. In this case, because I've worked with Pedantic AI, so I've already told it that I will be using Pedantic AI also to save time because we want to implement it within 2 hours. Uh, so the question from Herschel is, in Dubai, I have seen real estate use AI bot to talk with the customer. That's the same thing my customer owner want to make it. Want to know what are the different things in vibe coding that is possible if offline server. Uh, Herschel, I didn't entirely get it. If you want to use it in offline way, but the AI bot should work online, right? You have to have an LLM there to talk to it. I was thinking to implement a customer support bot, but everybody is doing that, so I didn't do it here. But what you see here as an agentic workflow, you can apply the same ideas to implement your real estate AI bot as well. Anyway, so let's go here. This is creating specs. We will review the specs later. So let's go to Crisp. And Ankit, you're here, so you can add anything you want to do. So Crisp is sponsored QR codes connecting brands to communities. Problem is that communities are hard to monetize. Okay. Core entities are communities, campaigns, placements, scans. So billable events where MVP scope is that we will have community and brand registration. That's fine. Then is fixed CPS versus bidding model. Let's make it simple. Let's keep it fixed CPS and no need for verification. And the focus is only on Dubai. And these are physical communities. The QR codes should be printable, and we will have a landing page. Forget the typos. Landing page where brand information will be shown. Let's also have brand dashboard as well as community owner dashboard. All right, this is here, and we have this. Before we start building, we will say, okay, before we build, let's review it. It's important to review what specs are. So here are our specs. You can see that it also created quality and those workflows. So we will have test cases always. If I go here is an AI agent for it provides automation, blah, blah, blah. And then we have, there's no to-dos yet, so we will start creating to-dos. Before we start, the sample data from Amazon, Revibe, and Cartlow are in our sample data directory. You review it and also create atomic to-dos for the project along with test cases. So before start, we can review. do this. And in Idea Miner, it's still creating the specifications. If I go here in Idea Miner, we have project specs and PRD is here. AI-powered platform that mines Reddit for validated product and app ideas, discussions, pain points. Okay, that is good. And the solution is our AI agent will discover relevant discussions across Reddit, will analyze for product opportunities and pain points, will validate for demand signals, synthesize tracks. And okay, this sounds good. Uh, it's already like from my perspective, that is good. And I go back to uh, the crisp thing. One thing you will notice, and I want to demonstrate here, is that essentially what I'm doing is I'm doing a lot of context switching right now. So on one instance, I am in Crisp, and I'm thinking about this specific idea, and the second idea is completely different from that, and the third idea is also completely different from that. And we are working in parallel to all of these ideas, and we can do a lot of context switching. And this means that as knowledge workers, we can really maximize our throughput because one of the biggest tax on our brains is to context switch from one problem to the other. And so in this case, you can see that I'm literally shifting between all the different um, things, ideas that are there. So while it is creating this, I will go and create a database. And I decided that we will use Supabase. So I will go here and I will create a new project for this. So this would be Crisp. And I will generate a password and add it here. And I will give the AI this password separately. I'll just add it in a file. Crisp database password is this, and create new project here. While this is done, I can just work on the infrastructure now. So you can see that we can work really in parallel. While these things are being done, I can go and I can set up in parallel the infrastructure. So the project URL is here. I add it here. Supabase URL is here. The publishable API key is here. In fact, I would go to project settings and I would do API keys here. I don't want this. I want a legacy one. So don't worry about this. This is because I use these tools a lot. And so obviously I know what I need from here. Service role is here. And now we go back and we see here. So I can also create Supabase. Okay, before we do this, this has created, let me see if the to-dos are created. In Crisp, I have project specs, overview. So Crisp is a two-sided marketplace and community owners running communities, gyms, coffee shops, blah, blah, blah. So that's probably, Ankit, what you said before. Solution is this, goals. Okay, that's fine. In to-dos, we have the backlog. Okay, let's initialize project. Supabase, that it has already created like a database model as well. I just quickly go through it. If everything is as I would like it, okay, it's fine. Then we have campaign browser. Okay, looks good. So I will, what I don't see is validation is here. Okay, this is fine. Here are the Supabase creds. You set up an environment and also I added for this. And here is a project backlog and to-dos are also created for the Souk thing. So I will Okay, while this is doing that, I will create a project for Souk Hub as well. So I go here, do the same thing for Souk Hub. Souk Hub, create a password, and I go here. So you can use other database tools as well, but I find Supabase to be easiest. As you can see, this is really, really straightforward in setting up all of these things. Project URL is this. And I will get the same anon key and service role key. So Supabase is now coming out with some new API keys things, but I always use the old one still because they work well. By the way, in my Claude skills, I've already mentioned what kind of ORMs and all of those we need to use. So this is already configured there. So while this is doing this, for idea miner, we can also set up Supabase. That will also be good while we are doing all of this. So we say idea miner, generate password, copy, and I will add it here. Supabase URL. So let's set it up. These one are all paid. So I have a pro account, and when I add new databases, this is all paid, but it's fine. We go here, we go to project settings, then we have API keys. Again, the exact same thing. And you can see that once you start doing this, you will become like really fast and you can do lots of ideas in parallel in and evaluate and just experiment with whatever product ideas you may have. Service role key. And I needed a URL as well. Here. And here's the URL. Okay, so we have database for all three. And go here in idea miner. I will tell it that this is, here are DB threads. And you can pick up our OpenAI and Claude key from. So I have all of my basic access keys configured usually for these ideas, and I just add them here. So it will configure it. So the same thing I will add here for Souk Hub while this creates the validation test cases. And now we are here. All right. So this has configured here for Crisp. Do we need to use AI somewhere? I said, okay, I'll add it for our AI APIs use access for API keys and also create UI specs for both brands and organizers. It should be as simple and clean as possible. And so I add here glass morphism because if you use a lot of AI tools, you will see that all of the tools start looking like the same. And because they start looking like the same, it becomes kind of boring. I mean, it's not bad, but it becomes boring when you have all of the same UI and the same kind of output, and you want to always add some kind of unique thing. So when you are doing the UI, you can always say, okay, I want to use glass morphism, or you can research on it and you can say, here's my UI language I want to use. So you can have like typography and fonts and color scheme specific to your idea rather than just taking what AI is suggesting. AI is generally suggesting purple color schemes, and especially Claude and OpenAI also does the same. So I always try to modify it so that the output is much more fresh than what AI would suggest. Yeah, Raman, you can use the same prompt specs across anywhere. So they are generic. They are more like guardrails than actual prompts as such. They are guardrails for the project. As you will see afterwards, we are just close to starting the development as once this is done. So we will be there. The migrations and all are there. It's basically setting up everything. I mean, Idea Miner has already started executing on the database models and stuff. And in this case, for Souk Hub, it is working on still on the backlog. And in Crisp, we are having the US specs for the dashboard. Um, what else is here? So once this is there, we will just start executing completely on this. If you have any questions now, you can ask. One of the things I will also do normally is I would actually research on defining the business model around it. So for example, now I can create a new thing here. Instead of doing this, I will create a new window with current profile. Uh, Not on Idea Miner, but in Shell. Okay, I will just create it here as a new tab. Okay, so it's here. And what I want to do is I want to go to documents, and now I want to work on the business model of this as well. So I just go here and see how this is going. This is going. So you will notice in Claude after it reaches a token limit, and here you can see context left until auto compact, it will do an automated compression. In my project specs, I also have the guideline for Claude on how to summarize and how to make these compressions so that it doesn't lose any context. So that is also added there, that when it automatically compresses the context, it can do this. So you can see here that this is still working on it and initializing Python backend. And in this case, we will just work on the business model of it. So let's now, while they do it, we can start working on the business model. So I can say, I'm working on an idea for connecting brands with, let's say, communities. It's called Crisp. You can see the project specs and currently under development project here. Review the documentation and let me know when you're ready. We will be working on a business plan for this. So now what I'll demonstrate here is how you can actually take an idea and not only work on the coding part of it, but Claude Code is actually really good with other things as well, not just coding, but day-to-day things and helping you to do your job other than the coding as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually deep dive into it and use Claude Code to generate a business plan for Crisp. I go here and I say, okay, this is all done here. And I say, okay, great. Let's get started. Start with the full setup, create DB models and validate each to do before going to the next. make sure all test cases are created. Know when, and I should test the full flow end to end. So now I will basically, because we have created all of the atomic to-dos, we can now let it run autonomously and validate with the test cases, validate with whatever validation criteria is created, and we can focus on other things. So while it starts building this, we can it is also, so you can see here that it is already configured lint and prettier for all of this. So these are like my guardrails for creating a more readable and better code for with AI. So AI is always following my code guidelines. This is also creating the work here, and so we go here. So all right, so this is here. So what I would do is let's create a business plan for this. Firstly, what do you think about this business for the Dubai market? Can you find me close competitors or others who are working in the same space? So now I'm using Claude Code to do a research for me to find out competitors and figure out what I can do more. So it will start web research. I can also do deep research on it. And I will also do a lot of, let's say, tangential work, tangent to what I'm building here, and see if I should even be building this. So what I think is that now code creation and software creation is not really a big problem anymore. I mean, it was never the biggest problem. It is really what to build, what defines where we need to like add our own opinions and our own creativity there. So while this is being created, let's see here and it's working here as well. And so now you can see this is researching on different competitors in Dubai for this specific idea that Ankit is working on. And so we will end up with what I want to do is I want to have a validation of whether this is worth solving our problem. If this is worth solving our problem, what should be my GTM go to market plan? And based on that go to market plan, I want to know what should be the sales motion I should do so that I can launch it and I can execute on the plan. And I want to have a set of to-dos that I can do or one of the team members can do to execute on this plan. And one thing you will notice from this is if you know all of this, that means that it's very easy to go from 0 to 1, and there's no reason to kind of wait and see how to validate and how to launch these things. Which also means that when you're doing these things, just because I can do it, it means my competitors can do the same thing. So Ankit, whose idea it is, so Ankit can probably also see that the exact same thing that I'm doing, anybody in the market can do. So you have to come up with ideas that are protectable and that makes you different from others. I mean, obviously, not everybody is doing using AI at this level, but they can. So it's not. I think in the next year or so, more and more people will start using AI as natively as you see here. Yep, Fahad, I think the main thing in AI-driven development is test cases. I think that's the main differentiating thing. All right, so it says good news is that market opportunity is real, and it talks about this. It says underserved niche, low barrier to entry, performance-based pricing is attractive. Okay, so compare no direct competitors in Dubai. So there is AdQuick, Adonomy, self-serve. Okay. QR code on packaging. There's one honest concern, scan volumes, uncertainty. Will people actually scan QR codes for gyms, cafes? Okay, that's what I thought as well. Unit economics risk at 82 per scan. With this, you need high volume. Okay. Crisp has a viable opportunity but needs strategic focus. Gap between enterprise and nothing is real. Dubai SMB. Okay, that's fine. All right. So let's create uh, a GTM motion for 2026, make it month by month with gates for next step, go, no go, so that we can decide when to pivot and when to try different strategies. Create this in the folder business plan. So what I would always do with AI is that I want to give it like very precise information on what I want to have. So I want to have a GTM motion, but I don't want a big document essay on it. I want it month by month plan on what should be done, what should be the gates around it. So for go, no go, so that I can pivot and I can do those things and create this. And then obviously once it creates the first version, I would go and I would work on the next version. So if we go here, so this is still working on Supabase and those setup. This is your head. Don't stop until you think I am ready to validate this. So now it has also created the repo. So if you guys are on Git, you can probably already start seeing the code that is being created and it's public. So you can see that this for SoukHub, it's already here. The project specs and everything is there, but I just noticed something. I just interrupted it and I want to, can you remove example data from our repo and make sure it's removed from the Git history too. I mean, I don't know in example data what I can and cannot publish publicly, so I will just remove it before we continue with the project, just to be sure. So data privacy is important. All right, so this is creating database here, and this is here, core mining functionality. So I will say, can you run the servers and let's test it. So this one idea miner is done first. Not done first, but it's the first step. Let's see. Okay, here it's creating GTM strategy. It's running the server. This is cleaning up our Git history. I mean, this is like one of those things that come up. I quickly saw the example data that they sent me. I saw some order information, so that's why I want it removed because this is public repo. Maybe this is would be a good skill to add as well to make sure that the public information is not added there. All right. And if okay, so let's see here. So what it has done is overview. It has created that we have a GTM plan. There's pre-launch in January and MVP plus 20 venue leads, and then it's proof of concept from February to March, 10 venues, and et cetera, et cetera. I would say, could we target the events and communities on Meetup and connect to the organizers there? I want the lowest possible touch acquisition, so I have least effort of acquiring test customers. Let's do this. Mostly search for Souk. Okay. I don't know. I just made it up, Fahad. I'm not really planning to launch it. It was just so they gave the idea. I don't think they want me to launch it. They want to launch it themselves. And I can't launch every idea. So, all right, this is working here. If we, what happened? Okay, this is fine. All right. Let's continue with rest of the to-dos and let me know when I can test end-to-end flow. Small shop owners. So because these are small shop owners, obviously they are. I have to explicitly specify to AI who the target audience is, so it takes care of it. And so this is also another thing that you have to keep in mind that when we are doing all of these things, the output really depends on our creativity, how well we instruct it or how detailed we think about. And so that's why what we are doing here is like helping us to think in detail about these things. So you can see this is now adding, I said, okay, I want to um, reach out to meetup organizers. So I say, could we target the events and communities on Meetup and connect to organizers there? I want the lowest possible touch acquisition. So I have least effort of acquiring test customers. And it says Meetup organizers are already community builders. And let me research. So it does a research. And you can see that this is really helping to shape up what a business plan could look like. So it's working here, I hope. Okay, so this is already, you can see this is already, it has created the backend. I will check here. This is our idea miner. So let's see. So the API is here. Let's see on the front end. I hope there are no errors because that always slows down. Okay, so the idea is here. And we can actually implement the mining functionality and then do it. Let's implement full mining functionality and make sure you test it first with test cases before I have a go at it. So, so this idea, I know someone recommended it, but I remember there is a famous YouTuber who's talking about how you can start your own ideas. And last year, he mentioned this that you can actually mine ideas on Reddit. So basically, the idea is that you go on a subreddit, you mine all of the problems that people are having on subreddit, and then you convert that into a solution, and then you go back to the same community and say, "This is what I have solved for you," and this is essentially the idea being that you first identify a community where you can participate in. Based on that community, you identify the pain point to solve, and you solve that pain points very quickly, and then you iterate and you go back to the same community and you get your customers. And that's how you can get a little revenue on the side for solving people's issues. And so this is the idea. I forgot the name of the YouTuber, but that's what he mentioned. And so I guess this is where this idea is coming from. And I have worked with Reddit API, so obviously this is very quick to set up here. And I added it here. So anyway, so this is working on the idea itself. Uh, okay, so Fahad, you generated some revenue. Okay, so this is going on here. Let's see what is going on in our business plan. All right, so it has updated the GTM 2026. Let's see the document because it's giving the summary here, but in Crisp, we can see the business plan as well. Here is our business plan. And here's the acquisition playbook. So Ankit, you can actually see that there's a playbook that is here as well. You don't really have to follow it, but just because it's there, that means you don't have a blank canvas, or as I call the paralysis of the blank canvas. Because when it's blank, you don't know where to start from, and this gives you a really good idea where you can start from. So Meetup organizing strategy, traditional acquisition is high touch. Meetup organizers offer low touch, high leverage. And then you can set up all of this automated outreach, and you have the full overview here, and you can do this. And for this also is set up what should be done on in January. I think it's actually quite followable, and it has already mentioned which groups you can follow. So you can see that Cloud Code actually done has done all of the research, and now you have a very concrete output on what we should do. I don't know if making it open source makes you uncomfortable or not, but that was the that was the idea here. All right. So it has said that the funnel is like scrape 50 meetup groups and blah, blah, blah. Enrich, find 20 organizers on LinkedIn. All right. So I would say, how about you scrape meetup groups and in our folder, add the highest value meetup groups and find organizers as well, as much as you can. So I will just let it do scraping as well because why not? You don't have to build scrapers. You have all of this, and so you can do it. What is happening here? It's creating dashboards now for our idea, and here we are building the mining service. So that mining service will be there soon as well. And meanwhile, we are here working on the crisp idea for onboarding and dashboard. So this is, I will implement it on, I will deploy it on Vercel as well, so you can actually play around with it. And let's see what's going on here. So it is scraping and analyzing everything. So you can see now, from me, Claude Code is the is the only tool that I'm using to do all of this, working on three ideas in parallel. And yeah, I could also do like a kind of a business plan for maybe for Souk Hub as well, or even Idea Miner. But yeah, let's just have this implemented. Meanwhile, we can review what's going on here. And so in active to-dos, we have these that are happening, and it hasn't added any in the completed ones. And as well. So one thing you will notice here is that the code structure is like well defined as well. So there is no AI slop as or there's not there may still be AI slop here, but this is minimal AI slop precisely because um, we have the specs that we created earlier on. So you can see the migrations are created properly. So those who are developing themselves, they know how important it is to have like a proper structure of the code because in the end, if you want to manage it and you want to be able to work with the same code, you want it as clean as possible and not like all over the place. So it's finding the leads. So excellent finds. And now it is doing all of this as well. So that is good. And how far are we here? So we have almost 1 hour done. And now I hope very soon we will have output for all three of these projects that we can start testing. And then I will deploy it so you guys can actually test it in parallel as well. And I think if you look at it, what we are doing in 1 hour until now, that's already like I don't know how much it would have taken a lot longer than what we are doing in 1 hour. And if we were, let's say, freelancing and we were doing these three projects with the specs that we have created, it would be like you would be charging a lot of money for this. So, for example, if I am on Souk Hub, only Souk Hub, and I say, here's here's the overview that what I want to have here in features. Okay, so there is also decisions, but it hasn't added any decisions here. If I give this on Upwork, I'm pretty sure this would be yeah, this would be a few thousands that somebody will charge for it. But let's go back. And also this would be if you outsource this. Okay, so let's see. Business plan, we have GTM, acquisition, playbook, meetup. This is what is kind of gold, I would say. There are meetup leads here as well, which is the Bay Entrepreneur Network, the Bay Syndicate, members, organizers. It found the organizer's name as well. So priority, and it also gave priority. And so, yeah, I think this is really valuable because now you have concrete, I would say, concrete targets on who you may want to achieve, to reach out to. Okay, so it has already created this meetup organizer strategy as well. And yeah, okay, this is good. We have even the organizers names, so we can search them ourselves on LinkedIn. All right, so let's go back. What is going here? So I can actually trust it to run on its own because it's also running test cases and it's also testing as it builds. So there's more quality there than just creation. This is checking this. This is creating dashboard now for our crisp. So look, when it tests all of this, it is already finding the errors and all of this, which is what I wanted to really do type check and all of this. Uh, this is validating everything as before I run it. It's already going to test all of these things. I don't want. So I could actually create financial projection as well, but that's useless. I think this is fine. This business plan is fine for this. Maybe I can do the same kind of business plan. Can you do the same business plan now for, could I sell Souk Hub for people? I don't know how many, create a new folder in Souk Hub called business plan and do market research, competitor research, and make a detailed assessment. We will stick with UAE market for this only. Okay, to do the same for Souk Hub as well. Yeah, K is wrong. It should be Q. You're right. Now that you've mentioned it, I can see it, and it looks wrong. Okay, so this is now you can see for our idea miner, it is running um, the test cases as well. So it runs the job, it has the job ID, it is validating whether it's bringing in proper results or not. And so this is why testing as part of development is so important. I remember many years ago, like more than 10 years ago, we used to do test-driven development. It was always a pain to do test-driven development because yeah, it slows down everything. But now with AI, this is something that you just have to do, and you don't have to worry about it because it's the test cases are being written as the development is done. And yeah, it's and I would actually trust AI in this case more than even human developers because developers generally don't like to write test cases that much, at least the ones that I've worked with or I had the pleasure of working with. Okay, while this is running, this is also I'm most interested with crisp. So I already have a favorite. Maybe it's because of the business plan. So it's essentially now reviewing the project. It looks at the code. Obviously, now it has even more code than what we did with Crisp. And so it will probably be even a better output. So normally you would do this um, in parallel, maybe in parallel, maybe not. In this case, we started coding before we started doing this. I would actually do a research before I start coding, but obviously the whole idea of this session is to do it in parallel in 2 hours. So yeah, but we are 1 hour in, and it's going well. I think this is like as deep work as it gets in what we are doing. So maybe I can start some music as well, and so that it's not as boring. Would then it would be echo. So now I can start music. Okay. So now we are in the zone, so we do more with music stuff. If you guys have any questions, feel free to write. Okay, so let's to test start the dev server. Can you start the dev server? And I will test it then. Okay. I mean, normally I would start the dev servers myself, but I would go in Z and I will start the servers from here. But I want to minimize my own like the tech stuff here because yeah, I just want to make it completely vibed. All right, so let's see what it came up with. Oh, Ankit, so your product is here. Let's see. Create an account, set a brand, create a campaign, sign up as venue owner. Let's say sign up. And you can see this is more the UI is using glass morphism, so it's a little bit less uh, cookie cutter as compared to others. I am a venue owner. Okay, so let's see what the issue is. I will give it my email so it can test on its own on Supabase disable email validation. So anyone can register. So on Supabase, you have this email validation. I mean, I think I can do it myself. Shouldn't be that lazy. Where's Crisp? Here's Crisp. I go here. I go in authentication and allow new users. I don't want this. And so that's it. Okay. Same I will do for idea minus others as well, but yeah. And if you see here, you can see the things are created. We should fix this that the role security is enabled, but right now it's not important. If I go on idea miner, the database is also created here as well. I would disable it just to keep it simple. And we have also tool hub here. I will do the same there. Okay. Verify. and run tests. It has created this migration as well. I could just copy paste it and run it directly, but I want it to run it for me. And so, yeah, you're right. It's still purple, but it has a shade. It's a little bit different. Okay, so it's test passed. Let me test user registration. So this is also very interesting because when you do this and you create like a test logins and test all of that, you can let AI actually do the testing for you, and then you can verify it later on. So it saves you time on this. Okay, so this is still running tests. All right. So okay. One thing you probably has already seen that is this is a lot of fun when you're doing this and you're getting the output. Um, it's like as fun as it gets because you're able to convert your ideas from like 0 to 1 in like an hour or 2 hours. All right, so this has also Soup Hub has also created this. What is this view? It says Amazon Lineworks Souk Hub, Noon, Cartlaw, no competitors cover this. AI native, SME. It has created recommended pricing as well. A closest competitor is Unicommerce. Has UAE office, but no Noon, blah, blah, blah. Yes, create the strategy as well as pricing in AD, not USD. Okay, what is going on here? Oh, it's running. All of this is running, so let's test it. Backend is here and the front end is here. All right, let's see. Oops. All right, start mining. Ideas, no ideas. Let's start mining. Ah, the backend is working. Front end needs to be fixed. Got it. Okay, this is testing it on port 4000. And let's see what Souk Hub's business idea is. Business plan, competitor analysis. So multi-channel space is dominated by Western players. I don't know what Lin works. What is Lin work? So I don't think this is correct because this is comparing it to the bigger players, and maybe it is correct. Seller Champ. This sounds good. This is for US. And they focus on Amazon, eBay, Shopify. That's what I thought, that there should be a lot of tools for Amazon, eBay, Shopify, but not for Middle East. And so this could be actually quite good. Okay, this is interesting. I don't know how big the market is. I Asuka is an AI-powered multi-market. This. All right. Okay, let's see. I want to quickly get it to be validated. Okay, let's go here. Is it done? It has errors. I will not solve these errors. This is just settings because we changed the settings. Okay, so the key was missing. We add that and let's go here. Oh, it has given us the password as well. So both users have this. Let's go login and I use for venue first. What did I do? All right. So the venue is here. So for example, I say to pay AI builders. Venue type is others. This should be, it doesn't need to be. What if it's online? It's wrong. We don't need address. All right, so this is created. Browse campaigns. There are no campaigns yet, but we are here and the thing is here. Let's do for the brand. I will just copy it. So just in case I need it later. And I do for others as well. No, I will just log out. Oh, come on. There are no campaigns. I just want to have logout button working properly. Maybe now I can also deploy it on Vercel so you guys can test it. All right, so this is here. It's not. So we have the test data where I should just push the test data here. Just a second. I will keep it out of data. Let me add it, test data. So I have the test data, but I removed it from the so I will just add it here. This is Amazon. So I want to ask it to test with the data that we have and pre-fill all of the account. This is Cartlow. I didn't know about Cartlow actually. And Revive. Revive. Data is here. Test data. Repopulate. Make sure we have suggestions and workflow and overview of everything. All right, so we will test it with the test data now. And here it's running. Okay, let's start mining now. Start mining ideas. Latest ideas. This is what it already created, but let's start mining ideas. Okay, so if I say Dubai and I say UAE and I say past month and start mining. Let's see. If venues wanted to advertise themselves in another community, also brands can opt for monthly subscription. All right, Ankit, we will do that. So let's see. Let's push it to after this to Vercel. Ankit, yeah, I think that we can do. We can have instead of having like separate community or brand thing, they both can advertise and both be a brand can also be a community. Okay, so okay, so I will deploy it to Vercel. In my Claude skills, there is already a skill for tooling and deployment. So this will deploy it there. It will use those skills to do it. And if I was not logged in, it would have asked me to log in into Vercel. Vercel, by the way, is free. So for your private projects, it can be free. Supabase is also free for private projects. You can use the free version. I have a few ideas. Which one is a new one? Oh, look at this. Privacy first contract analysis tool. Freelancers, contractors who need to review contracts. Interesting. AI meeting scheduler. I should be able to archive. And then what happens? Nothing happens. I need to fix that. Ah, crap. Okay, this is for because we are doing this. Users can register as well as log in and enable forgot password, and we show that too. What is happening here? It's still testing and it's deploying. So once this deployed, we can see it on Next.js on the live link, which will be here. Oh, it's coming here. So you can see it is being deployed. I will ask it to connect the Git repo as well, but this is here. So crisp.versal.app, and that's where your app is. This here. Let me verify this is working. Is it the I think in my Claude um, skills, I should add a Puppeteer or other browser-based testing as well. So this is by default part of it. So it's crisp.versal.app, just if you wanted it. It's adding user authentication. In this case, we will deploy it as render for backend and Vercel for front end. So you guys can see as well if we use two different services for backend and front end. And this is still running, so we will see how this is. Okay. How many small sellers would be there for Souk Hub? So we know market size. Okay, it's deploying. Normally, I should just connect it to the Git. So whenever I push it, it will trigger the deployment. So I think I'll do that. But it's testing. And afterwards, I'll deploy Souk Hub on Vercel as well. And okay, let's see. I will use this login for Souk Hub. Let's see. All right. It shows black theme. I don't know why, but oh, okay. Okay, order. So this is coming from all of that. Oh, interesting. And we can import orders. All right. What should I add here? I think I should add a chatbot to say AI assistant. Yeah. Before I do that, I want it to be pushed. Can you push it to Vercel so we can access it from there? Also, sure, it is Vercel budget. This I should also add part of the skill. So when we do that, we don't have to ask it explicitly. But yeah, interesting. I think this is decent. And we need to see, we can also import orders. There's delivery. We should be able to edit orders. How do we edit orders? We should be able to mark them as they're returned or whatever. And then I want to have a supplier communication system where I can use WhatsApp to communicate with suppliers. Could we do it in 30 minutes? I would say so. This is setting up Supabase with clients. And this is still doing a research on whether SoukHub is a good product or not. So I'm creating it for the guys who are the sellers, right? So they probably don't want to sell SoukHub, but maybe if there's a big enough market, we can launch it now as a tool. Maybe I could integrate Stripe now as well. Wasn't in the scope, but we could do it. That's basically just verifying that the key is fine or not. It's still under working. And we will check. This is will browse campaigns. What should Venue be able to do? It should be able to browse campaigns, be able to subscribe to a campaign, and so on. So I will ask it to seed some data for campaigns as well. Okay, got it. Now we can launch it. All right. So almost there. So Ankit, what did you say? A couple of things were if the venue wants to advertise themselves. Okay, I will just ask Claude to implement this too. Okay, so I'm going to take Ankit yours feedback and I will ask it to create that and also seed the data so I can run tests. Okay, this is here for login, deployed and Vercel. Can you add AI assistant as well so I can test and what do, etc. So I do this, and here we are almost done. Can you push the front end to Vercel and back end to render using the API key from? So we have it all that. All right. So we will now have this. Oh, what is going on here? We have the error. We have to probably restart. They have to restart the node server, so then it should be fine. It's creating the AI assistant for Soog, and it's doing this. Maybe we should add an AI assistant to Crisp as well. Have a good weekend, guys, who is leaving, but we're almost done in 30 minutes. Feeding the data. It's refreshing. Okay, let's refresh. Got it. What should be the user? All right. Vercel and render respectively. Ankit, what do you think so far about the direction? Is this what you had in mind or some other things? Are you playing with the online version? Oh, okay. I'll check it. Just a minute. It needs to be pushed probably. Now it should be okay, Ankit. As you can see on the screen, it should be fine. If I say browse campaigns, there are no browse campaigns yet. Okay, it's deploying on Vercel and render. So idea miner would also be live. That is good, I'd say. And in Souk Hub, we are building an AI assistant. And I will add, I think we can add shop Stripe integration here as well. But I guess in UAE, you use something else for payments. It's not Stripe. Ankit, do you know what service do you use for payments in UAE? Have you looked into it? Or I could research on it. Uh, GMV. Okay. Market is a bit concentrated. Okay, what it's saying? UAE small sellers. There's multi-market sellers, Souk Hub targeting 3,400 data points. how would we find these and approach them? I could do this and not yet. Oh, okay. Maybe Stripe is fine. I can also research here and see how we add payment integration there. But payment is also, I guess, we could build it as invoice based. Network pay. Network pay. What is network pay? Maybe I could integrate it. I will check here. Network pay UAE. Network pay. Network.ae. Is this what you mean? This is the one. Network. Okay, we will see. This is deploying. I can just create an, oh, there is the AI bot here. So if I say, show me pending orders that need attention. Oh, okay, that's good. Look, it's working. You have 20 pending orders that need immediate attention. What I would like to do is I would like this to be a actionable bot. So the bot should open immediately when I come here. But yeah, I can add that. And also this is markdown and it should handle markdown properly. So not AI is returning these markdown format. So yeah. Interesting. It should remove this coming soon now. Okay, it's deploying it. Remove AI assistant coming soon widget. Also, it returns markdown. So handle markdown properly. Furthermore, I'd like that we can take actions directly from within the AI agent by updating order, marking it as done, or taking bulk actions, etc. So it's all very quick. Okay, this is testing. And do we have the sample campaigns? No, we don't have available campaigns in my account. Maybe it still needs to add the database seed there. So seeding is basically that we pre-populate the database so we don't have to manually create test data. Oh, okay. So here's the seed data. And so this is always helpful in testing it. Okay, so venue, and I go here. We have created packages, we have created advertising types, seed data is there, and let's see if I go here and browse campaigns, I will tell it. Okay, so we do that. So I wanted to be able to see campaigns, and then the venue owner should be able to sign up for the campaign. And also maybe like Ankit was saying, we should be able to create campaigns as well. Okay, this is So while it is creating a business plan for our Souk hub, so it sees who are the Amazon sellers meetup and all of them, e-commerce sellers in UAE, so we can reach out to them. So that's also good. So we'll have a business plan for Souk hub as well. And let's see. Ankit, should we add payments or should we add an AI agent? What do you say? We have 20 minutes. What should be the final thing? Payments would be longer because maybe for one venue, one brand. I will check. Available campaign. So this is the idea here is that all of the venue owners, they get to see what are the campaigns that are available, and then I can accept it. And the payment is that, so I as a venue person can say that I will get 85 cents per scan. So brand is going to pay me per scan, essentially like a pay-per-view, right? So if a brand says, you can say to the brand, hey, it's a performance-based thing, and so you only need to pay 85 cents per scan and not a lump sum. But maybe we can set it up that it's not only per scan, but this is one-time payment that this campaign, this venue owner would get. So all of the different venues will get all of these, and then they will all display this specific brand. You understand? I think it makes kind of sense that brand creates a campaign. Those campaigns are visible to. Why can't I log out? Still not fixed. I'll ask it to fix. This is also still being deployed. And we have the seller leads, and these are also here. All right, this is refresh. Is the logout button working? We'll do a hard refresh. No, still not working. It's basically deploying on render. And if there are any errors, anything, it just checks it. So render is for the backend for Python, and Vercel is for the front end in case of IDEA Miner. Souk app is here. So this is also, let's see. But there's no login. What is it doing? landing page, highlighting the benefits and registration login button. Okay, so I think this is also good. Oh, come on. Ah, okay. This is all good. So here I can test it again. Let's process our latest orders. What is the error here? And chat fed. Okay, so this is fine. It's not working. So there are some of these errors. We just remove them. And we are almost done for all of these three ideas with their business plan. So we have the three ideas, their business plans, and at least the MVPs that are all done. What do you guys think so far of what you've seen with these three ideas? All right. Try it on incognito. I will do that. I will just try this on incognito and see if it works. Ankit, maybe you can also test if it's working. The logout for you. For me, silly. Okay. No, that's logout is a problem, but we will fix it later. So if we go here and we browse campaigns, we can actually accept campaign. So these are the campaigns that are there. And if I accept the campaign, now I have the QR code. And when we scan this QR code, then what happens? Let's see. I will just scan it. Oh, it's the QR code is opening localhost that we have to fix. Okay, then I will fix campaign management. Let me check this. Sign up. Okay, this is our idea miner. I go idea miner, idea miner. I wanted to disable this. Oh, it's already disabled. So I go here. Okay, we have some ideas and we can start mining ideas. And say, for example, Cloud Code, past month, and what do I want to do? Freelance, oh, Cloud Code, freelance, and see which ideas we come up with. So, and I can see if it is live as well or not. Not yet, but should be. Okay, so let's fix this. Added QR code should now point to this. Campaign creation flow. Make it more. Okay. Campaign creation, we do it. And now we are almost done. 5 minutes left. So we should be done with this as well. So we have a analytics page. This is here. Now we have a GTM plan for Idea Miner as well. So, oh, yeah, the project was called Gummy Search. I forgot the name. So this is Gummy Search that people were using for idea mining. Gummy Search. Is Gummy Search. Here is Gummy Search. Okay. Gummy Search, the research tool. How much do they charge? Didn't say. What happened here? Why are they closed? Oh, they've closed. So it's a good idea. We can launch it because people are not having Gummy Search now. Oh, interesting. We can automate the sign up. Gummy Search. Oh, it already knows Gummy Search shuts down December 1st. Right in time. We can add and we can launch this. Idea Miner as an alternative to Gummy Search. Launch window. Capture displaced users. Ooh, that's a good idea. I will add Stripe integration and then launch it. Yeah. So let's see campaign creation. This is working on analytics, and this is working on still deployment, but testing deployment, not actually deployment. All right, guys, I think we are done. It was good work so far. Let me know if you have any feedback. You can say it on the event page. And I think the entire code is open source. So if somebody wants to launch these, they can. They have the business plan as well. And yeah, let me know your feedback, and we will do another one in 2 weeks. I will work with existing code bases then, so that I can do the same thing with existing code base and not just completely greenfield new projects. And if you have any ideas, you can always tell me. So Raj, I created this group for our only the building stuff. So I went to a few of these meetups, but I wasn't very happy because they just do networking and some people are selling. So I built this group which is for AI builders only. So you can just join this on Meetup, and then we will do like these sessions regularly. Okay. My LinkedIn is, I guess you guys can see it, but you can send me LinkedIn on here. Oh, I'm not logged in. It's this one, LinkedIn. This is so you can send me connect requests and I'll do that. Yeah. All right, then thanks a lot. Have a good weekend and yeah, see you next time.